Welcome to another edition of the MEDIAtors. And are you a developer for video games? Brody, you ever developed a video game?
No, but I've thought about it, so I basically am.
Well, apparently, some people that develop video games are pretty salty with Sony.
A lot of them, yeah.
A lot of them, yeah. Because apparently you got to pay, was it, $25,000?
They say it's between 25 and 200,000.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, but not only that, on top of that, they want a 30%. So whatever you make, they want 30% of that.
So that's not a good
the
thing.
part I don't like. I get you have the price for your store and you want marketing, things like that, but that's like two separate deals into one that they threw in there.
Yeah, it's like you're really taking advantage of your name brand at that point. Which, I mean, I guess it's whatever. Yeah. I mean, most businesses operate like that, where if you're up at a higher level, you take a cut out of everything else going on. But like 30% is pretty high.
That's very high. Not like, okay, I wouldn't mind if it was just 30% and that's it. Mm-hmm. But the fact that you're making these guys pay more as well, like, come on.
Just to even get your name like available. Which, and again, I saw the argument, but it's like, okay, you're having to pay for advertising, is what it is. That's fine. But like, if you can't even like word of mouth get around, like wish lists and all this stuff, that was what the complaint was. Yeah. About that was that you couldn't even get into like. Right. Your own advertising to pay for it.
Yeah, it's like you're paying all this and you have no control over what goes on, from what I was understanding. Mm-hmm. But like, my question is, what does that mean for the future of PlayStation?
I mean, I highly doubt they're going to change business practices over one developer.
Right.
Well, even like, I mean...
Well, there's been a lot of people that are...
A lot of people are commenting, but like...
The picture of the woman.
Yeah.
That's great.
The tweets were pretty great. But yeah, so the developer for Neon Doctrine was the one that kind of kicked this off. Right. He's a co-founder of it. And he was going on about, and he never names PlayStation, but he calls it Platform X. That does not have Game Pass.
And most people, we all assume it's PlayStation.
We're all pretty sure. I mean, highly Nintendo, maybe, but...
Yeah. They were saying Nintendo. They were all assuming that Microsoft probably does the same thing.
Yeah, it's more than likely. But I don't know the 30% thing.
That's the thing that I think that they're not doing. So I'm just kind of like, like, so far PlayStation hasn't been doing that great, against Xbox.
We'll find out. Like, they've got their experience maybe end of this month.
Yeah.
So we'll find out. Hopefully we'll see some stuff. Nothing like EA... experience is coming up, so I mean, we'll see exactly what's going to be coming up. You're right, there hasn't really been anything. They've been kind of just doing their own thing with like their Insomniac games and everything.
Yeah, almost non-existent in a way. Like, well, no, I don't want to say non-existent, but
and I wonder if like how hard it is to get a PlayStation 5 right now. Like, there's a continued shortages, whatever. I mean, it's getting better,
right?
But I wonder if like. I don't know. I'm honestly like, if some of that stuff kind of ties into like there's other things going on, like maybe they're not meeting the numbers that they were hoping to make.
Yeah,
we'll see. I mean, like, they're doing good. Like, they're selling a lot. They're selling that every time, and then obviously scalpers are getting it. But I'm like, why? Again, we'll have to wait and see. Maybe they're just playing it close to the vest. We don't know what's coming next for it. But these people are not happy because these are games that are already coming out. To Xbox and to Steam, and then trying to get it over to other platforms, namely PlayStation here, seems to be causing some issues. He had a list, like, even before you can launch, he has a list of complaints basically of, you got to develop the game, you have to get their incredibly difficult lot check spread over 3 generations of back-end software, which is basically... when I looked up what lot check was, it sounded to me like kind of like their requirements. You have to meet the requirements for it. And so different department that will go through and check your game and make sure that it's going to meet those requirements. So they don't have to do it. The people are like registering it themselves to see if it works. Then you have to submit a platform specific trailer. You have to write a platform specific blog, which I thought that was interesting. Mm-hmm. And then
why are they making people do that? And then
submit multiple forms for social media. I'm like, I mean, I guess you can have that, but like, why wouldn't, like, you know, okay, like if you're worth an agent for acting and everything, they handle all that stuff.
Yeah, your agent does.
You know, you pay them to do that. So if you're already paying money,
right,
you're having to do this on top of it.
Like, why am I gonna pay you money, and then I have to basically market,
all the work,
and
all you get out of it is your like agent is kind of like, yeah, I'm representing this person. That's all they do. Is say, I'm representing this person.
Brand. Yeah,
yeah. I'm not like
you gotta do
that.
Work
doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, you've gotta. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Right. And so this guy, this is one specific complaint. So I mean, take it as you can. But he was saying to get the specific trailer and the blog, you have to go through an account manager. And he didn't even know how to get an account manager. So when he asked them, he was told they're not sure. An account manager is assigned by resources, and they can't even access what the resources level are that they need for it, is what he was saying. Now, I mean, these aren't like your big studios. These are indie developers.
Right.
So I'm like, I understand, like, maybe the resources aren't there for people that are kind of doing their own, like, small thing.
Right.
But at the same time, like, I mean, I understand you kind of, like, make the way easier for bigger companies, but you shouldn't make it impossible for smaller companies to do it.
Right. I feel like you should encourage them because, like, for example, we got... there's been a lot of games out there that start off with an indie guide, you know, like, for example, I mean, I love The Forest. It's not like a huge blockbuster game. And it's becoming bigger and better now. It's just kind of like, I feel like they're...
Yeah, the popularity of it definitely helps push it.
Right.
Most of the time, I'd say, to a higher level.
Oh, and
which is what you want. You want what you like to become even better.
And you want to encourage these guys to produce stuff, you know, because I mean, it makes them more money if you got more games out there.
Taking 30% out on each one.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's me making them a lot more money.
So I wonder if there's just something missing there that.
And again, this is one guy's. And then somebody else, another developer, chimed in saying, and he had different complaints besides that. I don't know if you saw this one. But he was saying less than 3% of his sales from the company, from their games and everything, comes from, we're assuming, PlayStation Store. And he even uses they don't actually say the name of the companies, but he so for example, he has a little pie chart, and a large chunk of it is the Proficient Sergeant, which would be Master Chief, is green, and then red, which is the majority of their sales, is Plumber Without a Wrench, which would be Mario.
Yeah.
And then blue, Nolan North, which is Uncharted.
Yeah.
And then Gabe is another small thing, which is Steam. So, and then he was saying his issues on top of that is that he said this platform, which we're again assuming is PlayStation, is our worst performing platform, worse than other well-known Plumber or Super Soldier related video game systems, and also worse than DRM-free sales platforms like Itch, etc. He said last month we made more on Google AdMob because basically marketing analytics cost per CPM.
Yeah.
I'm blanking on the term. But yeah, CPM, all those tools, non-existent, he says, for him. So these smaller developers, they don't even get insights into what is working for them. They're just kind of like, okay, you toss it up in the air.
Yeah.
And
what's a wish list? I'm not. My mind's
so
blanking.
Before a game releases, you can add something to a wish list. So basically, it's not even a pre-order.
Gotcha.
It's just like, hey, I have interest in this game.
That's kind of like a cart. So I was thinking that, but on the way over here, I was thinking of a good idea. You know how like TikTok and social media and all that, you have algorithms and it'll kind of promote the stuff that you watch.
Yeah.
And it'll try to get you to see it. So what if, or Netflix, you're watching a certain show and it'll be like, because you watched this,
you might like this.
So what if there's a way you go PlayStation Store or any Microsoft Store, and it says because you played this, it has other games related to that or games they think you might like. I'm just kind of like,
I feel like there is something like that.
That
and
would
I could
be sick.
Wrong, because I mean it makes sense, especially because it's proven to work.
Right.
Like an algorithm is not just something that they're messing around. They pay a lot of money for this thing to work. So if you're having an algorithm like that to help promote your sales, it's like almost a win-win situation at that point.
And an organic growth for the indie developer would help a lot too.
I'm trying to log into my account on my computer, and now I've got to put a code in there to just get to it.
Isn't me, or is it really hard to always log into your Sony account?
Yeah, it's no, it's insane. I had so much trouble for the longest time.
I have a lot of issues with it. It's just crazy stuff. Like, it says my PlayStation is not my main console, my primary console. I'm like, well, I don't have any other console. Like,
yeah, this is garbage.
It's not letting you log in?
No.
Yep, that's how it is all the time.
All the time. Oh, man. Anyways, so, yeah, like I said, I feel like you can do something like, there's like a For You tab, right? Or something like that, like games you might be interested in.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to find, because I'm like, I could have sworn, because
it seems like you just
most people have that.
Yeah, you gotta go out of your way and like
even just to get to that point. Yeah, I mean that's true.
It's just kind of like, what if you just it's right there. It's just like because
you're right, because I'm like, okay, on the app right now you can access the PlayStation Store, and I don't like. I mean, I see the latest thing, which you always want to promote your top things at first, but
yeah, coming soon.
Okay, where's like games that I would be interested in?
Included, free purchase, yeah, see, it's not.
So I'm like, I guess, yeah, you're right, because it's just all the games.
Yeah,
like, and that's one thing I do not like about the store is like trying to find something unless I know exactly what I'm looking for. Browsing is not fun.
No, it's not. It's you've got to know exactly what you're looking for, and you got to type it in, which is, I mean, we're sounding for very first world here, but it's true. It's just kind of like,
yeah, I mean, again, I am all about the convenience aspect of that kind of stuff. And
trying new things. And how can I try new things if you're not promoting these new things and making it harder for people, these small developers, to promote their stuff?
Like, I played, it was one of the free PlayStation Plus games. It was Uncanny Valley, which was like a little 8-bit kind of indie game, and it was a lot of fun. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
I would never have played it if it hadn't been promoted to me. You know? Like, I would not have even heard of it
like
before.
Chivalry 2.
Exactly.
I've been playing. It wasn't because PlayStation Store showed it to me, of course. I was on TikTok and I was seeing like cool things like, oh,
yeah,
we'll go look that up.
But see, like that's an independent marketing. If you like, so if you didn't put up that, if they didn't put up that 25,000 or whatever to even get listed on the store,
right,
that you wouldn't even be able to get it.
And that's not even promising that they're going to be shown. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So, and you're wanting to take a 30% cut,
which again, that's pretty steep.
If I'm a business owner, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna pay this marketing company, let's say, $30,000.
Yeah.
And then you want 30%? No.
Well, and that's the whole. Remember, like Apple versus Epic Games had this similar thing where they were trying to bypass it by doing their own store for like the V-Bucks and everything, and Apple was like, no, you can't do that. And see, a lot of other people do that. So that, I mean, really the whole, it seems the more you read into, the more like the industry itself, that's the standard, is like they charge you extra and then even more and then more and more, and percentages everywhere, and you're just like, by the time you get to the end of it, you're like, okay, what's kind of left? Because you're having to develop the game, pay your employees. If you're a one-man band, you got to pay your rent and everything. Yeah. Then you got to pay for marketing and all the upkeep for your game and everything. I mean, once the game's done, you still have to kind of make sure it's running well, especially if it's online. Yeah. So that whole thing, I was like, I feel like they're definitely trying to take from the smaller person, you know?
Yeah, it seems like
it's taking advantage of them.
Right. Or they may be looking at it as weeding out the bad apples.
I mean, yeah, but like, is it bad if you can't pay?
No.
Like, let's say maybe you had a really good idea and you were able to develop a really good game, but you didn't have the money, and like, I guess you could find investors, but like,
right, yeah.
What if your strength wasn't finding investors? Like, you could develop an amazing game, but you never could make those connections. Yeah,
it's like the gamer person has to become a businessman in order to be a gaming person. It's kind of like, it takes
and you run to risks. You get like the social network type of a thing where you can develop it and then somebody comes in and steals it all from you and all that kind of stuff.
And then you have to still do all this stuff that they're saying. So I get why he's a little aggravated.
Exactly. And like I said, something probably set him off where he was just really frustrated with it.
Well, also something I was reading was like he was ticked off because like they were saying you need a rep or something like that. He's like, okay, well, where do I get that? And they'll be like, oh, we don't know.
Yeah, the account manager.
Yeah, it's account manager, and he's like, why? Like, what do you mean you don't know? it just makes it seem
right. Like I said, to me that's just like the brush off, like the run around. Like, okay, you're working for a company you don't know. Like, even who to talk to at that
Yeah.
point, or like what to do.
Yeah.
Like if that's kind of your job. So that to me just is more than just like ignorance. It's like, okay, they're not going to help you because they don't want to help you.
Man, I'm just reading this.
Oh, I know. I'm like, I've got the thread pulled up of this guy's complaints and everything. Seriously, it's just
so like I just wonder though. It does make me wonder: is Microsoft the same, or is it worse, or is it better?
Well, and
for
see,
developers.
This one says here. Also reportedly runs similar schemes. I like they use the word schemes for Xbox and its online store. So. I was trying to find what their cost was. I couldn't find it. Basically, what it was. Everybody's talking about PlayStation right now. So when I look up, what do they charge? What does Xbox charge? Everything's pulling up PlayStation, Sony. Yeah, it's just.
You would think that they'd have like a tier system or something, like
right, and that's
your
probably
first time developer, second, you know what I'm saying. And when you reach a certain level, and they're like, okay, hey, we'll promote this more since you're getting a lot of traction.
Yeah. Well, and his issue was he's like they had other games on the PlayStation Store.
Ooh.
That they were already, and so like they're having to pay more every time like for that.
Oh, for each game.
Yeah.
That's
so
ridiculous.
The whole thing is like you basically, even if you have credibility, I'll call it that, with the company, you already have done work with them before, maybe you even had some good sales before, but you're still not getting the resources you need, I would say the help that you need to make it continue even farther at all is just ridiculous sounding to me.
Nah, I'm not for it.
Yeah, and like I said, I want to know what Nintendo's, because I know Nintendo,
Right,
when I looked up the, what's it called? I'm blanking on the name already. It is the lot check.
Yeah.
That's a Nintendo thing.
Yeah.
That's when I just Googled the term, it pulled up with a Nintendo subsidiary. So, I mean, like, everybody else probably has the requirements that you have to get through. But I feel like the customer service is what kind of leads the way for it. And he was complaining about other things, too. He's like, he said, yeah, other people have it. But one of their biggest issues that he had after that was, like, giving discounts on the game. He has to get approval to give a discount for his game. So...
Yeah, that's almost like you're paying them to run your business in a way, like right there. I'm like, that's ridiculous. That's like me paying rent for a building. Then like, okay, but you need to ask permission if you're gonna like. No, this is my business. If I can't pay it, I mean that's on me. But you're not gonna tell me if I can discount something,
right? Because like he was saying, like he was like, well, I should be able to sync up discounts on Steam and others.
30%.
Exactly. He's like, no. He said discounts are invite only.
Whoa.
Right? I'm like, invites are very limited.
That's bad.
Yeah. So I'm like,
those are fighting words right there.
And to me, it reminds me of like Clubhouse, where like you had to have an invite link to get into it. Where it's like, okay, yeah, you get it, but like if you're a business, like, and you're like,
wow, that's pretty bad.
Really?
I hope not all of them are like that.
I don't think so, but yeah, he was like, he said, in conclusion, Platform X is super successful and awesome hardware, but their back end and process is straight out of the early 2000s.
I'd agree.
Which it seems like, it's like, okay, I think we're moving past that kind of a setup for video game development. You know, where you're more into it, I feel like a transparent, like, I mean, everything else is like, I look at movies, you know, it's shifted from, okay, only Hollywood can make movies to, you know, now just about, we have YouTube, we have all these other platforms that people can create on, and it's saturating things, but you're also getting much more, I guess, creativity from different sources rather than, okay, this is what you're going to watch and this is what we tell you can do and this and this and this. I feel like video games are like, the industry is going to be facing a reckoning soon enough once that technology becomes more open source, where anybody can pick up a computer or whatever, some program, and make their own video game like that. And I know there's smaller ones to do that, but it's like when video cameras became more accessible and cheaper, the prosumer era, we saw much more increase in video making. So I would say if we continue to see something, hopefully more, we probably can see within the next 10 years a radical change, a radical shift in the development of these games.
Yeah, possibly.
So if you want to talk about that, if you are a developer or you want to talk about what you think it's going to look like, we would love to hear your thoughts on that.
I mean, I wonder, because with PC,
yeah,
what does that mean for the PC developers and things like that as well? Like, what are...
I think PCs is more of like the YouTube of video games.
I agree.
Because like PlayStation and Xbox, which Xbox I feel is a little bit more open, but PlayStation is definitely like Disney to me.
Right.
Where it's like they do great things, cool, but they're super restrictive on what you can do. You can't come in with your own thing. You have to follow their rules, and if they catch you doing otherwise, you're gonna get a cease and desist letter.
Yeah.
You can't do fan films with them. So whereas like other companies, other studios, you could do a little bit more. You have a little bit more leeway. You could do an Indiana Jones parody or whatever, and now that Disney's buying up everything, you can't really do as much. So we see that, and then we see again where YouTube, which I would consider it more like the PC thing, where you could anybody can submit their own thing, right, and then what determines the popularity is actually the people.
Yeah.
Is like, okay, are people buying it? Are people hearing about it?
Yeah.
Are people loving it? And that's what promotes it more than just
that's
the
how
name
Chivalry
brand.
2 happened. It was a PC game and just grew over time, and now it became a console game.
Exactly. And I think I think that's a great thing that happens where you like it's something that was like a passion project or whatever, and it grew, has a cult following, and then boom, now you're getting more access, you get more followers, but the fact that you have to go through all these hoops just to get to that point. So let's say Chivalry 2's development team wanted to do another game.
Right.
They would have to jump through the hoops like if they were nobody.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing. That doesn't seem right. Like if you can get your foot in the door, you shouldn't have to have the door slammed on you again and again every time and keep forcing the door open.
Yeah.
Now, if you're not delivering, I could see the door closing.
Yeah.
But I feel like there should be a little bit more like a grace period for
Well, like just like you hit the nail on the head. I mean, what you said about acting agents, like the one thing that we were taught is how to spot a scam actor agent is when they would ask for money up front. You don't do that. It's a percentage game. You get it's 10% of what I do. That's it. I'm not paying you $250 a month. Not like that. Like you're not supposed to do that. So, I mean, that's not me making up anything. You go to any real agent, they'll tell you that. Like, it's just percentages. Not now. Of course, if they're helping you with headshots, then you'll probably have to pay for that and stuff.
Right.
But you're not paying them a monthly thing. So.
I understand like startup costs. We're like, but like, if you're paying for something, but you're getting something back immediately.
Exactly. So.
And again, like I said, I don't think PlayStation charging $20,000 or whatever is wrong if it's going towards ads and everything. But like, if it's doing it and then you don't even know what you're getting, you don't know. It's like all this other stuff that like, okay, there's no help there. There's nobody answering questions. That's the problem I have. Is like, okay, we can't be spending money and not seeing the return.
Yeah, I don't mind them charging, but 30% that's too much.
I mean, even there, like I said, you can. It's like like music artists, like any kind of you have to have like 1,000 streams. Like okay, we're a podcast, right?
Yeah.
You have to have like 1,000 views to get like a small like a $15 percentage.
Yeah.
Like again, it's fine because you want to promote the better things,
right?
And that's fine because you have to work towards it. But let's say if you couldn't even publish your podcast,
right,
until you put in X amount of money. Let's say, I don't know, $100, right? So you're spending $100. Maybe you have like 50 people or whatever listening to it, and you're not even a quarter. You're not even a small half of that percentage of getting that money back. You would have to have way more. So again, it's rewarding people that honestly have the means and the method to do it more than the people that have the actual talent.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Because some guys have all the talent in the world, but might not have that money, and you're making it kind of impossible for them to even get it,
or to even develop that talent where they can get to that level. Because not everybody's going to start off at that level.
But I wonder what the beginning level would be like. I know PlayStation would probably be like your end goal, or Xbox.
I feel like Steam is the ground floor.
Okay.
I mean that's where you get like Goat Simulator.
Oh yeah.
And all those games that are then get moved over to consoles, but a lot of them start off with just little small, like Steam. You can play like beta games that are like for free. Like they're not even out officially. There's bugs and everything, but you can still play them.
Okay.
And then they keep working on them, and then they release the final thing, and they can continue to go from there with it.
So my ending thought on it is this sucks for developers.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
And again,
unless they're a big name or like not
even like this. I mean, this guy's a verified
he is,
tweeter.
Yeah. Tweeter. He's verified on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm like, he's not like a nobody. He's not like somebody like you or me who's just like, hey, you know what? I'm building a game in my basement or whatever.
Right.
Like, he's got actual games out there. He's done other things, but he's still having issues with that. Which again,
right.
This is his experience, and he's got some other people that have had similar experiences.
Right. Who knows?
So we'll see.
He might just be
But
aggravated.
I still want to know what Microsoft is charging.
Me too. Yeah. Yeah. So I was working out today, and I was looking up a certain genre of game I'm starting to get into.
Oh yeah,
survival games.
Interesting.
You know, I've been a fan of the Force. Said it on here a few times.
Yeah.
But
won't shut up about it.
But I was looking up like the top 10 survival games coming out.
Minecraft.
Yeah, they had Sons of Force at number 3, which is the second one of the Force. The first one, I can't remember what the first one was. It didn't look as good as Sons of Force, so. But
was Raft? The free. It was like one of the free games on PlayStation Plus not too long ago. It was like basically like you're on a raft and you survive in the ocean.
Oh, cool! Yeah, I didn't know you do. Yeah, I like building stuff.
Yeah, I think you. I don't know if you. I never played it honestly.
Yeah, you can't really build much on a raft.
Well, I think you go to like islands and stuff.
Oh, see, yeah. What's the name? Stranded.
It's probably that was it. Yeah, that was it.
It's okay. I try to play it. It's not as fun. I like the Force a little bit better. Maybe it's because of the cannibals and the graphics a little bit better.
Yeah, that's a big thing. If it's like really bad graphics, it's hard to stay.
It's kind of like, But
yeah.
All right.
Well, cool. Well, you guys know where to find us. All of the information is in our show notes, and we will see you next time.
Hasta luego.